Welcome back to Stop and Frisk trial. It continued today. Testimony from Jeffrey Fagan. He's a law professor whose analysis of the NYPD's UF-250 forms, we talked about this a lot since we started this trial. It shows that the cops consistently listed questionable reasons for these street stops. We've now gone past the 5 million mark when it comes to street stops. Now, these forms that we're talking about that police officers use to document their stops is at the heart of this trial. Our own Dominic Carter, as we said, he was there and he rejoins us from Lower Manhattan. Dominic, tell us what happened today.
Well, day one on the stand for Professor Fagan from Columbia University, expert witness. Richard, he has studied, or at least what we've been told from his appearance on the witness stand today, he has studied at least 4 million out of the 5 million of these stop and frisk numbers from these 250 forms that you just referenced. And the numbers are not pretty, Richard. That's the best way to put it. The way he described it in terms of if you happen to be white and stopped by the NYPD, or if you happen to be black or Latino and stopped by the NYPD. Now, Fagan was not available for comment this evening because he's back on the stand tomorrow, but here's what the lawyer for the plaintiff had to say. According to the professor, blacks are 31% higher to be arrested than whites.
Yeah, and the important piece is that's in a situation where whites and blacks are both stopped by the police for the same crime. In other words, they're both stopped, let's say, on suspicion of trespass, right? The black pedestrian is 31% more likely to be arrested for that if they actually find evidence of the crime, whereas the white person is more likely to just get a ticket for the same crime.
Okay, another stat that I found startling late this afternoon. Blacks are 14% more likely to be the victims of force by the NYPD than whites. Latinos are 9% higher.
And again, that's controlling for the suspected crime. So again, if the police stop a black guy and a white guy on suspicion of armed robbery, right? So it's the same crime, they suspect the same criminal activity, they're that much more likely to use force during the stop against the black suspect than they are against the white suspect.
Richard, it's important to point out the city of New York claims that the NYPD has done nothing wrong and that stop and frisk is a good police practice, but their attorneys thus far have not been available for us. Richard, I want to close with one stat here. The NYPD has told us that stop and frisk gets the guns off the streets. That's been one of the key rationales for this policy. Well, according to this Columbia University professor, get this number, Richard, out of every 1,000 stop and frisk, guess how many guns are taken off the street? One. One for every 1,000 stops. So he will continue his testimony tomorrow. That is the latest from Lower Manhattan. I'm Dominic Carter. Richard, let's go back to you.
Thank you very much, Dominic. You know, I saw something in the Times, Basil, that Judge Scheinlin, who's obviously the presiding judge in this case, she made the comparison to if you're in a housing project where the cops have targeted as a high crime area and they are going to use this procedure here to try and cut down on crime. It's the equivalent of living in a penal colony. At least for me, when I heard that, put in context that, forget about the zip code where you live, it's a trade-off. You live in Brownsville or whatever. You understand that whether you do anything or not, if you live there, this is part of the compact. Now, the promise is that we do this, it's going to cut down on the bad guys carrying guns because they can be stopped by the cops, and it's going to be more of a police presence. But you're going to have to go through stuff that you go 5 minutes, you know, towards Midtown that they're not going to have to deal with. I think at the end of the day, that's what the police are saying. Yeah, that's basically it.
Well, you talk about trade-off, and I think that's interesting. I mean, look, if you walk around some of the communities in Harlem, Brooklyn, or Bronx right now, what you see is the NYPD's mobile watchtower, which kind of, I don't know if you've seen it or anybody's seen it, but it's a portable, it's a portable watchtower, which makes you feel like you're in somebody's prison and you're being constantly watched. It's a very difficult way to live, to be honest with you. And there are trade-offs. We've heard the African-American mayoral candidate, Billy Thompson, as well as someone you've had on your show before, Jackie Rowe Adams, saying that on the one hand, we should be very concerned about these statistics with respect to stop and frisk. On the other hand, when you have young people that you're concerned about.
Less than a week ago, and I said, Lou Presto, why don't you get rid of it entirely? Because it's not the tactic that's wrong, it's the implementation. I still don't see how you can have both. But we'll be back with more here on RFL right after this.